No mai hoki mai to another recap of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under Season 2. It's Episode 5. I'm Mama C. Well, before we get started, I just want to say a belated happy birthday to Nikki. You might remember Nikki from last year when Amanda and Nikki did the recaps with me. So wishing her a happy birthday. And if you'd like to give her a shout out, you can reach them on their website. You can check out their store online. And if you're in the U.S. or if you have a U.S. post box, you can always order something from their store. So shout out for them and happy birthday, Nikki. Also, happy birthday to Siobhan. Hope you're having a great weekend. On with the recap. So last time we saw Hanaconda take the win in the Snatch game, and we said goodbye to the legendary Minnie Cooper. Post-elimination, the queens read Minnie's goodbye message. Thank you, Spanky, Kong, and Yuri for being so kind. Thank you, Coops. Mic drop. Okay, so you're going to see some smirking and that from some of the other queens. But the rest of the queens who weren't named are just kind of like, okay. Spanky's like, good old Minnie, stirring the pot. Hannah says she'll be all right because she can dry her eyes with that $5,000 that she won. I love Hannah. So good. All right, there's a bunch of gobbledygook pointed out that Viv and Queen are the only ones who haven't won a competition. There's a lot of shade thrown back and forth. There's a lot of negative vibes. And this whole episode had a lot of negativity. For me, it was a hard episode to watch. So thank goodness the siren sounds, and that means RuPaul is coming and it puts an end to this whinging for now. So Ru says it's time for a reading challenge because why? Reading is fundamental. Honestly, they weren't great reads. I mean, they were okay. There were some funny bits, but it really wasn't like a standout kind of thing. The negative vibes probably didn't help this challenge. So Queen ends up winning the mini reading challenge and gets $2,500 gift card for Glitter A Go-Go, which is biodegradable glitter. So Ru then tells the queens they'll be singing and dancing and writing verses to the new song Bossom Buddies, and they'll have to read the other members of their team. Ru says they're going to work in two teams, and immediately you see Spanky, Queen, and Hannah sort of link arms, and they're a team. So that leaves the other three as their own team, Beverly, Molly, and Yuri. Well, they write and practice some verses. Bev is going to take the lead for her team because they have dance experience. Queen takes the lead of the other group, and there's, again, negative vibe show, lots of shade. So while Beverly's group is rehearsing, like they're trying to figure out some dance moves and that, the other team is obviously, they're mocking them, they're smirking, poking fun. So anyway, so they finish, they get a clap from the other team, and then Bev goes, well, go on, you guys have a turn. Let's see what you can do. I'll put you on the spot. And she's like joking around with her. Queen takes this like some kind of shots were fired, and immediately, it was just, the feeling. The waves were coming off me of the negativity, and it was not good. I just did not enjoy this episode at all for that reason. It was so negative. Ugh. So Queen says they don't react well to people projecting on them, but the edit clearly shows that Queen was the one projecting onto Beverly. It was just, I don't know. The episode didn't make sense because, like, she's saying one thing, but yet she's acting another way, and it was just really weird, really strange. And I know, like we said before, people react differently when you're put in a situation. They're cut off from support systems, da-da-da-da. But this has not been a good time for Queen. I'm just saying. So we see Queen go on for a while. She's got a bee in her bonnet. It's just like this whole thing. It just continues the negative vibe throughout this whole episode. And if you notice, Queen's the one who's coming off really negatively. I didn't like seeing Queen in this way. Beverly says, they're surprised at seeing Queen this way as well. I mean, at this moment, Beverly is living rent-free in Queen's head, is all I'm saying. So now it's time for them to take their turns and record with Michelle. All right, so group one is the Babs, B-A-B-Z, and they are the broke-ass bitches. They meet with Michelle for their recording. Their verses, Hannah does great, Spanky does good, Queen as well. Hannah says this is Queen's comp to win. The Hung Divas then are up next. Biv, Molly, and Yuri. Bev goes first. Michelle pushes her to give more attitude. She needs attitude and confidence and all that good stuff. Yuri says they're not a dancer or a rapper, but, Michelle says, can you be shady? And she's like, yeah, I could probably try that. The other girls think that shouldn't be a problem. So Yuri has a bit of a struggle, but obviously they make it through. Michelle continued to push about attitude and confidence throughout the whole thing. Molly, she pops hers out first take. Natural, I guess. So our broke-ass bitches, they seem to be having a good time while they're rehearsing their dance number. Queen seems to feel like this is their week. Our other group is practicing, and Yuri is having a hard time with the dancing as well. Molly seems to have it. Bev is feeling the pressure, though, because obviously, as their team leader, trying to help everyone to be able to look good because it's about the team. So then Queen says these past few weeks they've not been themselves. They're not feeling it anymore, but apparently that's only when Bev's not around. So then Beverly finally, she just calls her out and she's like, says to Queen, I'm not used to this Queen. Immediately, Queen tries to rewrite this whole narrative and say it's Beverly who isn't herself. Yet we've seen the exact same thing from Queen. So maybe Queen hasn't realized how they've been presenting these past few weeks. Being on the bottom, being in their head. It's not what you want to see. But anyway, though, so the whole edit just makes Queen look hypocritical. Because, they're the one projecting and yet then they're accusing the other. That's how the edit looked. So if I'm wrong, correct me. But that's what the edit showed. So I'm just standing up for Beverly because in no way did Beverly sound negative. No way was she snarky or anything like that. So I just thought this reaction was way over the top. Queen calls Bev arrogant in a very arrogant way. Again, you know what I'm saying? Not a great look. Queen says Beverly is questioning their character, which she was not from what we saw. Queen has been visibly hostile to Beverly. And I don't know if that's because they just hit it off the wrong way, because maybe Bev was popping off a bit too much in the beginning, trying to be confident, but, faking it. And maybe Queen didn't like that and has just got a real problem with Beverly, because that's what it looks like. So when Bev had said to Queen, you just haven't been yourself, the loving, motherly Queen that she's used to, again, Queen just takes that as some kind of, I don't know, but takes it completely personally and not saying, yeah, I haven't been myself, I've been in my head, etc. Probably could have ended right there. But nope, let's continue to whinge about it some more. Hard for me to continue the rest of this episode, honestly, because I was just like, I just had to get up and do a walkabout because I just absolutely had a gutful, because we watch it for the costumes, the fun, the entertainment. Joking at somebody is one thing, but just being mean is not entertaining. And I didn't like it at all. Queen then continues saying something about, there was whispers and blah, blah, blah. Yet the whispers we saw were the ones of Queen and Spanky making fun, mocking, etc. So it's just hard to back that up with the video that was presented to us. This edit was not favorable to Queen. Yeah, I didn't like it at all. So I come back from my walkabout, hoping that all the bitching and moaning and whinging is done. But nope, it continues a bit more. During their makeup time, I pause again. I go outside. I have a walkabout because this whole thing is so triggering for me and I can't freaking stand it. The Queen then says that they're spiraling. Yeah, we know. We've been watching it play out. So I'm hoping that you have some sort of support system that you were able to get all of this out. And because I hope that this is not going to be the narrative for the rest of the season. I don't want to see a negative Queen the rest of the season. So it's time for Rue to come to the runway in their beautiful orange gown. Looks great. Michelle and Reese say they used to be part of a girl group called the Rusty Trombones. Okay. Babs, the broke-ass bitches are up first. They do their dance and their verses. Hannah does absolutely amazing. Just, I don't expect anything less from Hannah because Hannah is so talented. That's probably why Hannah is one of my favorites for this season. Spanky actually is a great singer. I think that they did a great job. But Spanky, I really want you to have bigger hair. And I don't know if that's just because of the proportions or whatever, but when you got the big broad shoulders, you got to have some big hair to help balance it out. You know, maybe pad something on that bum, you know. I'd like to see Spanky have more of a shape. Definitely bigger hair. The Hung Diva, Bev, does absolutely amazing. And she wasn't kidding when she said she was a dancer. Tore it up. Well done. Yori, the lip sync was off a little bit, but you know, she holds her own. She does all right. She makes it through. For considering she's not a dancer, she kept up. Molly, she did great. Now, for the runway, the category is belts, buckles, and chains. Up first, we've got Queen Kong in this black and pink number. It's cute. I love the puffy hairball. I think it's adorable. Spanky's up next with her bondage Barbie. Hannah Conda looks stunning. But Hannah is just consistent. Hannah's consistently polished, entertaining, funny. Hannah is the whole package, for sure. Biv is inspired by Brittany and Justin's denim look. They're all denim look. And says that all the scraps of denim used in the costume was donated from, I believe, from the club they work at, I believe. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yori in their snake skin look with the chains hanging down. Of course, it's always a bit sexy, isn't it? So Yori always pops a look. Speaking of poppin', up next is Molly Poppins. She's like a rock chick sort of bumblebee look. She's, what I like to think of as Molly is she's sort of classy, trashy, you know what I mean? Her looks, it's like, they're pretty trashy, but they're so polished looking. So she's classy, trashy. That's Molly. I love her. I love Molly. Okay, so all back to the stage. Rue says it's prom night at the whorehouse. Queen is being judged first. Michelle is proud. Reese says, great job. Spanky is up next. Michelle says, the latex is loose, bad boobs. Reese says, if it was more polished, then he wouldn't recognize that it was Spanky. Hannah, they say Hannah always looks amazing. For Bev, Michelle was proud. Reese was very proud because Beverly killed it. Yuri Guy up next. Michelle says, you could tell they struggled the most, but that was due to the voices in their head, she says. Rue says, I know you're not a dancer. Molly did well, and they like her runway, and then they're dismissed. All right, so backstage for Untucked. Well, all 6 got decent reviews. There's some nitpickings, like Spanky's loose pink flap, and, I just love her. Then all of a sudden we have a phone ring, and so they're like, okay, what's this? So they answer the phone, and it's Sophie Monk. And I was like, where have I seen her? Does she do toothpaste commercials? Where have I seen her? So I'm like, Google. And so here she is. That's what she does. So glad they told me who she was. Sophie says that, she's glad that they knew her name. Usually she gets Courtney Act. Ba-dum-bum. Which, actually, I was so pleased that somebody finally mentioned Courtney Act's name. I was like, here we are. This is our 2nd season. I don't think anyone mentioned her name last season at all, considering I figured that she was at least going to be, like, if anything, at least a judge or come on, for a Snatch Game or something. I was just really surprised that we haven't seen Courtney Act. And because, I assumed that if Rue hadn't come down to film this, that it would have been Courtney. But beats me, man. But it was nice to hear Courtney Act's name, who are original Down Under queen. So shout out to Courtney Act. I hope you're having a great day. So the advice Sophie gives them is just be yourself. Okay. So our judges deliberate. They discuss Spanky. Michelle says that they know that Spanky is less polished than any other queen in the world, but they love her charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, and say Spanky is a star. Hannah brings it every time. Reese says Hannah is what they call a loose unit. Beverly, she killed it. She did a great job. She's a bloody good performer, is what she is. Yuri says, she struggled. She's got the looks, but she's got to get it yet, and which will come in time. Molly is great, but she didn't stand out as much. So really no crap critiques, really, at all. Back to the stage. Babs, the broke-ass bitches, win the challenge, and they each win $2,000 and a year's supply of snag tights. Don't know how many pairs that is, but apparently Spanky says, I really need them, and Rue says, I know. And Beverly Kills is safe. So that means Yuri and Molly are up for elimination, and they lip sync to Chains, the S&M remix by Tina Arena. Now this lip sync was hard to judge. It was just hard to judge. Molly Poppins ends up getting to stay, and we see Yuri sashay away. Yuri's parting words: live fast, eat ass. Papai to our little Yuri, you cheeky little thing you, and we wish you all the best. Next time, it's time to market some products. Well, that wraps it up for this recap of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under, Episode 5. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day, wherever you are.